This is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is Porsha Family Matters. Porsha Family Matters finally got to season 1, episode 5, where the fight broke out. But before I talk about that, I'm gonna give a little synopsis. Then I'm gonna give my opinion. It started off with Lauren, Dennis, and Dom going to yoga, and then while they were at the yoga session, Dennis asked Lauren, "Where is Porsha? Where is Porsha?" And she said, "I don't know where Porsha is." And Dennis said, "Well, wait a minute. Everybody that's around Porsha is Porsha's friend, not my friend. And why is Porsha not here?" He said, "If Portia's not gonna be here and Portia's not gonna do the work, then this whole trip is a waste of time." And I agree with Dennis. Lauren has said it in the last 3 episodes to Porsha that that she wants to do this blended family thing and stuff like that. And now Dennis is calling Porsha out on her BS about wanting to get the family together but don't want to participate. And Dennis is saying things don't work like that, and if it's gonna be like that, that's a waste of time. He don't need to be on that trip, and I don't blame Dennis. And then Lauren. Some kind of way left or walked out of the room, and then Dennis was telling Dom that he had asked Simon about his ex-wives, and he said Simon said, "Well, I got a moving company, and I move people anywhere I want them to be if I don't want them to be around." And he was saying, and Dom was looking funny. He was saying, "Yeah." That's why I don't know about the situation with Simon and Porsha. He said because when Simon wants to get rid of you, he moves you out to a place he wants to. And so Lauren walked in on the end of the conversation, said, "Oh, you're moving, Dennis?" And Dennis said, "Oh no, I had to sell a moving company." Dennis was lying. He know he didn't sell no. He know he wasn't selling no moving company. He just didn't want to tell Lauren what him and Don was talking about. And then after that, they showed Lauren doing yoga again, and Porsha was calling her name, and Porsha came out there and still saw she was doing yoga and meditation, and she said, "How did everything go?" And she said, "Well, Dennis was wondering why you wasn't at the yoga class, and Dennis was saying, if you're not gonna do the work, well, why is he here?" She told me, I only missed one class," and Lauren said, "No, Porsha, you missed more than one class." And she said, "Well, I was doing other stuff," and Lauren said, Porsha, you the one that wanted to bring everybody on the trip. You the one that said you wanted to do the blended family stuff, and Dennis is talking about if you're not going to be around and participate, well then why is he here?" She talking about, "Well, I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to try to come to that meeting." She said, but Porsha, you keep on talking about it. She said, "Yeah, the stuff that you had with Mama Gina." She said, "Me and Mama Gina is never gonna be friends. We're not gonna be friends no more. We never gonna be friends." And Lauren told Porsha, "Why are you trying to blame everything on Mama Gina and all this other stuff? It's you. You the one said you wanted to have this trip. You the one said you wanted to blend the family, and you the one supposed to be trying to fix the family and fix yourself, and you're not doing the work." And she said, "I think I got God on my side. I'm already fixed." And Porsha, and Lauren told Porsha, no, you're not. You haven't even done any work. You haven't been done none of the sessions and stuff." And then Porsha started busting out crying, talking about she wanted the family to be blended and stuff because she didn't want to go back to her childhood, because when she was a little girl, when she used to go visit her daddy, her mama used to have to stand across the street and her mama couldn't come inside the house. And I'm looking at, if that's the case, I don't know if Lauren Daddy didn't want to have anything to do with. I don't know if Lauren's I don't know if Portia's dad wanted anything to do with Lauren's mama again. Maybe Portia's family didn't like Lauren's mama. I do not know. But anyway, she got to booing and crying about that. And then Lauren said, well, okay, I did want to have the people to have some fun on the trip, so let's go have some fun. And so the next thing you know, they showed the three teams. The first team was with Dennis and the other Lauren and Landy and Dom. That was the tequila crew. The next crew was the AVT crew, which was with Dennis, Porsha, Storm, and Dennis, Porsha, Storm, and Portia's sister Lauren. And also the third thing was the Spar crew, which was Mama Gina and Aunt Elizabeth. And so Porsha was saying, well, one thing about Mama Gina and Mama Gina and Aunt Elizabeth going to the spa, they can't make no noise and they can't be loud. You have to be quiet in the spa. And so they were saying that. So they showed the tequila crew, and they showed Lauren, the assistant, and then Londe, and then Dom, and then Dennis getting on the bus. And while they were getting on the bus, somebody asked Dennis. I think it was either Lauren W, the assistant, or either Londe. One of them asked her on the bus. They said, Dennis, what's actually going on with you and Porsha? And he said, well, 3 months ago, me and Porsha was a thing, but then after that, stuff started happening, so they were talking on the bus. Then they switched to the AVT group, which was, like I said, Porsha, Simon, Lauren, her sister, and Storm, and Storm, and so. What you call was saying that she used to go into she used to riding on the AVT bike or buggy, whatever you want to call it. And she was saying because her and her brothers used to go when they was little, but they didn't take Lauren. And so she was saying so she know how to do it. So they showed everybody, and then Porsche throwed Simon some kind of sweater or something cause she didn't want to. I guess she didn't want to be in. It was hot, but anyway, what you call was driving the slowest, Storm, and Porsche was driving the fastest. And Porsche drove so fast she fell off the ATV and she hurt her hand real bad. And they was assisting her in her hand and stuff like that. And somebody said, "Well, Porsche, we thought you know how to do it." She said, "I do know how to do it. I just did it a little bit fast." And then they all got the like I said, tending to Porsche in her hand. And then it switched. It switched back to the tequila person, and they met, and they arrived at the place, and they met the host and the tour guide, and he told them about different tequila drinks, and he was saying, "Do y'all know anything about the different tequila drinks?" And they were saying, "Oh no, only thing we know about tequila is how to drink it." And so they all got at the little table and they were drinking and they were talking little questions, and then Londy said, I have a question for everybody. She said, I want to play a little game, and everybody can answer the questions according to the game. And then after that, it switched back. It switched back to the Spar people, and they had Mama Gina and Aunt Liz talking, and Mama Gina and Aunt Liz was talking about the first thing that broke out, the first dinner that broke out with Dennis and what you call, and they were saying that they didn't think that it was right for Dennis to call that girl those names and tell her to shut up. And they were saying, yeah, we were wondering what was going on. And Mama Gina said, that's why I really didn't want to be in this family and be in the middle of it. And Aunt Leah said, well, yeah, I was concerned about that too. So they had kind of like a little girl chat thing, girling it up. And then it finally went back. It finally went back to the tequila group, and that's when I think it was either Londy or what you call asked Dennis, asked Dennis, why was he cheating on Porsha, and so how did Porsha find out? And so Dennis said He don't know how Porsha found out, and then Dom interjected and said, "Well, I told Lauren W. And Lauren told Porsha, and then that's when Dennis said, "You told Lauren W. You told Lauren Williams that I was cheating on Porsha with some girl." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Dom, you a snitch. What you doing telling all my business? You ain't supposed to be telling my business." He said, "Well, I was Portia's friend, and I felt that Porsha should know that you was cheating on her." And then Lonnie said, "Yeah." And then in her confessional, Lonnie said that Storm was acting kind of funny right after she found out that Dennis was dating Porsha. And then so Dom was telling Dennis, "Why you keep trying to blame me? That's you." He said, "If it wouldn't be no bees, it wouldn't be no snitching." And so which is the B word. He said, "When the B word." And so what it is, it kind of went back and forth. And then Lonnie said in her confessional, she said, "I used to work for Dennis for about a year and a half, but then because I wanted more money and more hours, Dennis was treating me bad and treating me bad, and then Dennis told me that if I didn't like it, I could leave." And she said Dennis fired her, and she said she think Dennis fired her because he was dating Porsha. And she said Dennis started acting funny after he started dating Porsha. And so it went back. They went back and forth, and then he said, "Well, I told you to stay out of my business. You better stay out of my business, Dom." And Dom said, "Well, I'm sorry. I'm Portia's friend." And then it switched back to the next scene where they were all getting ready to sit down at the dinner table. And Porsha asked everybody how was their outing, how was everything going. But a little bit before that, asked Porsha where she was gonna sit Lauren, her sister, and she said, "No, I'm not gonna sit at the head." Everybody got to sit down and got a chair, and that's when Porsha asked the question. And then the lady said they had a good time at the spa. They talked things out, and they said, Aunt Elizabeth said, "Mama Gina seems like she's warming up to the family and stuff." And so it was like after that, and she said, "What about the tequila group?" And they all looked kind of funny and they didn't want to say nothing. He said, "Well, yeah, we had a good time. It was a good time." And then Porsha said, is any of y'all sober or y'all still drunk?" And then I think it was either Lundy or the sister said, "Well, it was some stuff that was brought up, and Dennis and Dom wanted to clear the air." And Portia said, "Clear the air? What are they talking about?" And then she said, "Well, go on and say what y'all was talking about." And then Dom said, Dom said, "Well, I just told Dennis that I was the one that told you that Dennis was cheating on you with some kind of a bartender, hostess, or whatever it was." And so Lauren W. her sister said, "What was going on?" And then Portia explained. She said, "Well, yeah, they said Dom and Dennis wanted to clear the air, and Dom said he told Dennis that he told you that I was cheating on him." And then what happened, Dennis went back and rehired that girl after he said he wasn't going to hire no more when he cheated on that girl. Me and I was pregnant. And then that's when Mama Gina chimed in and said, "Well, why does everybody keep talking about this? This stuff is in the past. Why does everybody keep talking about this?" And person, "Well, they said they wanted to clear the air." And then Dennis said, "Well, Dom, you was wrong for telling Lauren W. And she told Porsha you was wrong." He said, "No, I was not wrong. Porsha was my friend." And then he said, "Well, man, you just nothing but a snitch. You ain't nothing but a snitch." And then Dom said, "Look, you need to stop blaming me. You need to stop blaming me." He said, "Man, what you want to do? What you want to do?" Dennis said in his confessional, "We could have been had a fade. We could have been had a fade. We could have been had a fade on the island. But I was trying to be nice and stuff, and so the producers had to put up there what was fade for with Dennis and his urban language dictionary. I mean, I don't know what some of the I don't know what some of the street terms are either. But to me, I was thinking the fade was the hat, but he's talking about the fade was fighting. But anyway, But anyway, they got to going, they got to going, they got to going, they got to going back and forth, and everybody was saying, like I said, Mama Gina and the old lady said, and even Elizabeth said, yeah, y'all need to squash that, go on about that, and then so that's when Porsha was saying, y'all all talking about Storm, y'all need to tell Dennis to shut up. Dennis the one did it, and Dennis talking about that little girl need to stop talking to me. Ain't nobody talking to her. She in my business too. And so when Dennis told her to shut the blank up, that's when Porsha jumped up and said, "You're not gonna be talking to my cousin like that. You're not gonna be talking to my cousin like that." And then he said, Dennis said, "I ain't got time for this. I'm finna leave." And so when Dennis got ready to leave, Porsha said, "Get out, you and your mama." And then Porsha called the security. She said, "Yeah, you, your mama, and that H girl that you brought here." And so Dennis said, "I ain't got the time for that." So Dennis was trying to walk out the door, and like I said, I watched it twice just to make sure I saw it right. Dennis and his mom was trying to walk out the door, and they was talking to the cameraman, and there was only one way out, and they was trying to get out. And then Porsha jumped up and started hollering, "Security, security!" And they was trying to get out the way. And Mama Gina was saying, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And the next thing you know, Porsha started swinging at Dennis, and Dennis started swinging at Porsha, and stuff like that. But from what I see from the new clips, what it was Porsha. She was trying, for some reason, she did something to Mama Gina. I don't know. She pushed Mama Gina, shoved Mama Gina, and Dennis got his hands in the way and kind of shoved Porsha so she wouldn't hit his mama. And so like I said, the fight broke out, and they said, "You watch it, it'll be continued on the next episode." So on the next episode, they got a couple of clips floating around. I haven't watched them yet, but they're gonna let us know exactly what happened between that fight scene. So hopefully, I've been watching it. Like I said, some people talking about Porsche Family Matters is a bunch of lies and rumors and all kind of stuff. It might be some lies in between. There's always a saying that there are lies, there are truths, and there's in between. So on Porsche Family Matters, you get a little bit of everything. So I like the show, and I'm still liking the show. And from what I read on one of the blogs, last week's episode ratings were good. It was like 0.713 million people that have watched that, and Portia's been getting the 7 to 8, 900 ratings things ever since her show premiered. And some bloggers are saying that it's rumored on the street it might be a second season. If it is, it's gonna be good. This is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a T.I. is. I am out.